So my name is Manal Kahi. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Eat Offbeat. And Eat Offbeat delivers authentic meals that are conceived, prepared, and delivered by refugees who are resettled here in New York City. So we hire talented home cooks, we train them to become professional chefs, and then we deliver their food to groups of 10 people and more all over New York City. I won't take long, I know we will have more opportunities to speak, but we launched in November 2015, so it's been about 2 years, and since then we have delivered over 65,000 meals all over New York City. We have a team of about 30 chefs and delivery operators, all based in Long Island City in Queens.
Hello, hi. My name is Dennis Gorbatiuk, originally from Ukraine. Used to be an attorney, turned entrepreneur. We are in food business production. The company is named Dan's Hot Dogs. I'm CEO and co-founder of the company, and we make all-in-one hot dog in a box that takes less than a minute to heat and eat, and tastes better than a grilled hot dog.
Good morning. My name is Khalid, and I'm from Island Pops, and we're a gourmet frozen West Indian-based dessert. And we're a family business. It's my wife and I, and everyone who works for us is either brothers or very close friends. And we're just here to push the boundaries of West Indian desserts. We've been open since 2015, and I'm just happy to be here. Thank you.
Hello, hi. My name is Nabin Sherchan. I'm come from Nepal. I run the restaurant. Is the Himalayan Foods. Is located in Jackson Heights. I opened business since 2008. Is now running 11 years. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Godshelter Oluwalogbon. I own a catering company. I also have a food truck located on 2nd Avenue and 44. Came to this country 2001, worked as Zabers for 10 years, then started my own business. And been growing. Looking forward to open up a restaurant and expand more. And very excited to be here. We just won a Vendy Award last year. And very excited. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Deepti. I run a company called Food to Eat. So what we do is we partner with amazing vendors like everyone that's just introduced themselves here. So we work with 150 local food businesses, a lot of which are immigrant, women, and or minority run. We essentially take over their sales and marketing and sell their catering services to corporations, getting corporates to be more diverse in their food offerings in their offices. So our clients are like Microsoft, eBay, ad agencies like Droga5, and the idea again is to make sure that they are not just going to the deli down the street, but they're actually bringing awesome, authentic New York City grown food from amazing people like on the stage. So I do a lot of cooking at home. I don't do the cooking for the people that we serve, but we love talking about the stories behind why people started their businesses. So not just what they do, but why they do what they do.
Thank you. Also, I wanted to mention that at the end, we're going to open it up to questions. So if you think about some questions that you might want to ask the panelists. And so my first question to the panelists is, it's, maybe if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, the thought of starting your own business is, a great idea. But to actually do it is a whole other, challenge. And so I'm wondering how people made the transition from, let's say, experimenting at home with something to forming a business and getting it out into the world. And there's a two-part question. There are a lot of challenges to being an immigrant entrepreneur. Let's say you don't have maybe as large of a network as an American-born person. Maybe English isn't your first language. But there are also some advantages, such as you might know about a certain kind of food that Americans don't know about. So you have a niche. You might be bilingual, trilingual. You might problem solve a little bit differently. So I'm just curious about those two challenges, getting your business out into the world, and then also some assets and some challenges being an immigrant entrepreneur or second generation or first generation entrepreneur.
One thing that I discovered was, I am a first generation. My parents came here in 1976 with no money. My dad went and paid for college himself, and so I heard about all the challenges and things that he went through as an immigrant and what it was like starting his businesses. Luckily, he was able to put himself through business school. But with that being said, what I learned was I started to talk to the food vendors, right? And so what I learned was that a lot of them didn't think of themselves as business owners. And they didn't, and at that time I was talking to food trucks and carts because that's what I was seeing in New York City. A lot of these food trucks and carts had a lot of amazing businesses, but they weren't naming themselves, right? So simple things, when you start a business, the first thing you think about is, who is my target market? What am I going to name the business? Who am I going to sell to? And all these questions go through that, but sometimes people don't necessarily think that way. So for Food to Eat, what was important was how do we help support and educate the people that don't have that background to be able to grow and scale their businesses. So for me, it was really important to think about that, and that's how we want to continue to support the amazing vendors that we work with even today. Sometimes we notice that they're doing things such as not pricing their menus out properly, and we say, hey, we're going to pair you up with an expert that actually knows how to do proper pricing and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to starting a business, it's scary, right? Whether you're American born or not. There's challenges because there's so many things that you don't know will happen. But you do it because you're truly passionate and you really care about who you're serving and what you're doing. So for me, like I said, one of the most important things was to make sure I was talking to the community that I wanted to serve and make sure that it was an idea people actually cared about. Did vendors actually want to be represented by somebody like me? Did corporations actually want to buy food from me? And when I understood that both sides of the market, actually there was a need, and somebody decided to pay me for it, I knew that, okay, great, there's a business here. I can make some money, I can make a living, I can quit whatever job it is that I'm doing. So for me, the most important thing to think about when you're starting a business is making sure that there is a need. So doing things like this, right? Bringing your product out here and having people test it out and people giving you feedback of what you can do to improve it or make it better, or maybe it's already amazing and here they can help you find channels to distribute it and sell it.
Great. And actually, Manal, if you want to, we'll go this way. Manal has to be early. So.
Thank you, Nina. Sure. So basically, for me, the thing started, I moved from Lebanon in 2013. I was very disappointed with hummus here in supermarket. It wasn't up to my standards, let's say. So I started making my own at home based on my grandmother's recipe, and that kind of led to some level of success, let's say. I'm not that good of a cook. I'm not even close to. I know all of you are amazing cooks. I'm not that good. And even with that, because it was homemade, it was kind of made with love, people loved it around me. So that's when my co-founder and I knew that there was some business idea there. People were willing to pay for it. People were willing to buy it. Again, being from Lebanon originally, I was also, very affected by the refugee crisis that had started unfolding there back in 2013 or even earlier. I wanted to do something about it, and when we started thinking of who could make great hummus and who would be, naturally making great hummus, we thought immediately of Syrian refugees being resettled here in New York, and we knew they would probably making amazing hummus for their families. We knew, knowing the culture, we knew they would want to share it too with whoever wanted to. So that's really where the idea sparked from. Clearly after that we went well beyond hummus. We knew there was so much more to it than just hummus. There are so many amazing recipes, momos from Nepal, for all over the world that are so much better when they are homemade, when they're made by someone. When you know who made them, also it makes it so much better when you know the story of who made them and why they made them. So this is really, that's the entire idea behind how we started. And to answer your second question of challenges being an immigrant, how much more challenging that could be versus being maybe American. I think actually sometimes you can really use it to your advantage. In our case, what really makes us successful is the fact that our cuisines are all off the beaten path, and that's really where the name comes from. It's Eat Offbeat. It's really about discovering something new. And for us, the entire value is we're really helping New Yorkers discover something new. We never say that we're helping refugees, or it's not that. It's really about flipping the table on that and showing that actually refugees are here to help you discover something different. Refugees and immigrants are here to help everyone in the States discover something different and new and valuable.
Thank you. And Godshelter.
I came to this country when I was 25 years old, and that was in 2001. And it was very tough, very challenging to navigate my waters. However, I was determined to be great in this land. I mean, I came with such a vision that, you know what, I'm coming to America and I just want to do something different. You know, thanks be to God, I was able to find a job at Zabers. And, you know, 2 weeks later, they wanted to throw me out. Why? I was very slow. So, and this was my first job. So I literally have to prostrate and just beg my boss and say, please, just give me the opportunity. This is my first job in this country. I don't know the way around. And he said, oh, just go somewhere, blah, blah. I said, no, please. And they had me come back, and when they brought me back, I was moving like a machine, you know. And I ended up spending 10 years at Zabers, and I became one of the favorite employees there, you know, to the point when I was leaving, thank you, you know, to the point when I was leaving, the offer, you know, from my profit sharing, about $30,000 was what I walked away with, you know, so that was amazing for me to start my own business. And they told me, listen, you're going, you have what it takes to do it. If it never works out, come back. Okay, you have a home here. Okay, are you sure you want to start your own business, or are you going to another job? I said, I'm starting my own. Because if you're going somewhere else, whatever they want to pay you there, let us know, we'll pay you. You know, that was how much valuable I was for them. And I'm happy today. Leaving Zabers, while I was at Zabers, I saw that Zabers, they ship food across the country. And each time I go out on lunch, the zeal in me would say, I can do this for Nigerian cuisine, because I am a breed of Nigerian and Ghanaian, but I'm more Nigerian. So I said, I could do this. I could do this. And that zeal kept coming. 3 years I was, you know, working on it while I was at Zabers. And at the 10th year, at the 3rd year, I just said, you know what, it's time. And I left. Leaving was very tough. I started the business from my apartment, the studio. We'll cook all the food, pre-pack them, put them behind my vehicle, and take it to church. So I started with 2 items, and I would take it to my church members, and I would sell it to them after service, and you know, it kept growing. And you know, by December of that same year, I told my wife, I'm not going back. She said, are you serious? We don't even have no money. I said, don't worry, we're gonna do it. You know, because the check I was waiting from Zabers didn't even come out. So I was just waiting. I wasn't even thinking about the check, because I know I can turn $1 to be 20, to be hundreds. So whatever I had on me, I bought whatever I could buy, and I started off. And it kept growing. Somebody saw us, introduced us to the Nigerian Commission, that you guys should start bringing food there. So we started taking food to the Nigerian Embassy, and we would prepare this food. And there's been times, I tell you, you know, in this country, there's so much opportunity. And you'll be breaking the law. I mean, it's not encouraged to break the law, but you know what? It's better than stealing and doing credit cards anyways. So why just don't break the law, get a summons, go to the court. The judges, the human being, you talk to them, they say, this is it. All they would do, warn you and throw you out. That's it. You know? So I know there's been time the cops will come to me while I'm selling in the city. They'll say, you selling? No, I'm not selling. I'm just doing delivery. You know? So, and you know, to the glory of God, today again we're able to own a food truck about 4 years down the road, because it was very tough getting a permit to do this business. That was one of the most difficult things, you know, which I think if there are people in this, you know, gathering today, if they can just help us talk to the city mayors and whoever is in charge, they need to release the permit. You know, the immigrants will come here with such a zeal to make this great nation, this great city, a better place. We're not lazy people. We want to work. We want to make this place. If where we're coming from, if they can't get it right there, we're not going back there. I'm not going back to where I come from, for instance. If I grow old and I don't like the code, I'll move to Florida. I'll go to Arizona. Because the people are in not just getting it right. You know, it's not to bring down my people here in front of everyone, but it's the reality. Why do thousands of people go to the American embassy daily to apply for visa? Out of 100, out of 1,000 people that apply for visa, they probably give 50 people. And the rest, 950, all their money is gone. They don't refund it back to them. You see that? So, how many people go to Nigerian embassy to apply for Nigerian visa? Very close to zero. You see what I'm saying? So, we want to work. We need the government, the city council member, to release permits for street vendors, for their food trucks to be able to function. So we upgraded into the food truck. By God's grace, another food truck is on the way. And these are not loaned from anybody. These are just monies that I've been able to work very hard day and night. I work 7 days a week. I still work 7 days a week till tomorrow. And my kids work as well for us. They're young, 10, 9 and 8, they all work for us. They manage our iPad, they take the orders and whatnot once they are, once they come back from school. So
I'm just gonna
move
it along
Gotcha.
Because I'm gonna change the question for the next 3 panelists just because we're running out of time.
Gotcha.
So, what else to say? Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. But you can work in the answer to the previous question into this question that I'm going to ask. One of the questions is about technology and word of mouth, face-to-face word of mouth, getting your business message out there, marketing through meeting people and networking face-to-face, and then technology, whether it's social media, an interactive website, any type of emailing, just technology that moves your business along in conjunction with or versus face-to-face, and use of, let's say, Yelp or Grubhub or Uber Eats, if that factors into your business at all. Who would like to start?
Okay. Just a quick recap. I agree. This is the best city to start a food business, and being an immigrant is not a. It's a challenge with opportunities. That's the city to start your business, and being an immigrant, you can think outside of the box. So once again, I think it's being an immigrant and starting a food business in New York is an opportunity. With regard to your question. Yes, nowadays everybody looks like you must use social media to your advantage. It's to your advantage. The thing is, it might be challenging. Everybody else does it. So you have to just ask yourself, what is it in itself? Marcus Aurelius, what is your product? What is your service? And who are your customers? To deliver, to market, to reach to them and to the new ones using the social media. We use the social media quite a lot, not a Grubhub, not Yelp, we're not there. It's a little bit different product type of business for that, but we use Instagram, Facebook to reach to the new customers. I can be talking a lot about that, the way it is. It's just you need to understand and realize it's a thing that you do. Okay, take me for example. I have a reminder 3 or 4 times, 3 times a week. I have a reminder to update our profile, to put something new on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram. You have to do it on a regular basis. You have to check how it works, what doesn't. So all I'm trying to say is not a one-off registering a Facebook account or Instagram account, posting pictures. If you want your social media to work for you, and it can and it should, You have to not only be proactive, but you have to analyze and you have to see how it works. Once again, what works, what doesn't.
All right. So I guess I could start off. I guess a little bit of. So my wife and I, we started this business, and it basically started off of me trying to satisfy her need for West Indian ice cream. Just like a recurring theme here is that we couldn't find an authentic ice cream that she was craving at that point in time. She was pregnant with our son, and I get sent out at like 12 at night. I need ice cream now. I couldn't. I came back empty-handed, and I tried to make it the day after. I was unsuccessful. She did not like it at all. So she took an ice cream course and then taught me how to make ice cream, and we've been making ice cream since. That was in 2015, and now, we've been progressing ever since. We're working towards actually opening our first store now, thanks to the help of BCNA. They have been very gracious in helping us build and do this process. We're under construction now, and it'll be scheduled to open in June. Being an immigrant, it gives me a level of authenticity. That's the word, authenticity. Whereas if I wasn't, I probably wouldn't be able to create some of the West Indian flavors that I am now.
Can you mention some of the flavors?
Sure. So everything that we do is based on all natural. Is an all natural ice cream or all natural products. So some of the flavors we have is soursop. I know some of you all know soursop. We know we have passion fruit, lemon, citrus flavors. I love citrus, so I like to mix citrus with cream because it kind of creates a sparkly balance. Sorrel. Does anybody know sorrel or hibiscus?
Yeah.
So we try to use anything Caribbean, we do not use any pulps. We only use pulps or fruits. We do not use any syrups or anything like that. So we try to make it as authentic as possible. Continuing questions. Challenges, as a new business, challenges. If you want to open a business, I suggest that you just go for it. There's no need to just sit down and keep planning and keep planning and keep planning. It's very important to have a general outline and a plan, but it's most important to take that first step. Until you take that first step, you will not be able to work on any plan that you've created, because you could just sit there with a plan and not do anything. Plan and execute. That's what's most important. Social media, right? Technology. Without technology, you cannot really have a business that's going to be successful at this point in time. I am, I guess, from the old school where I really like interacting and getting a feel of my consumers. Most of our business that we've done thus far has been through word of mouth in my community, in the West Indian community, and now we're expanding to outside the West Indian community. But I really like and enjoy the feel of knowing who my customers are, knowing that you enjoy that flavor that I made, that soursop ice cream or that sorrel popsicle, and you looked at me and you say, wow. And I'm like, yeah, it takes you back, right? Because it was created from love. It was created from a place of memories of a child growing up in the Caribbean. But you need social media, because without it, we won't be able to succeed now. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have a duo here who's going to talk about the, I don't know, Nabin, if you want to start, or if you would like to start, about technology in conjunction with a restaurant.
Got it. How you doing? My name is Ashraya. I'm the son right there. And so technology. Wow. Okay. So we are a restaurant located in Jackson Heights. So we do read a lot of Yelp reviews. So I think that would probably be the number one thing. A bad review does get us pretty startled up. Oh, not bad. Yeah, and so does a good review. So we have been doing Yelp ads based on clicks, and that's what we've been doing currently. We get results based on who clicks on our website, and that's the only way they could charge us, thankfully. And we, thanks to Ms. Patia right here, and we're sharing Diddy right there. And the help of BCNA, we are slowly expanding and creating an online presence. We are taking photos of food and just like they mentioned, just presenting it to an audience, and hopefully something sticks and somebody likes it. I mean, that's all we can do. That would be it.
Excellent. So I'm just about to open it up for questions. Nabin, would you like to add anything about starting the restaurant?
Hello. Hello. Yeah, my name is Nabin Sherchan. I like to be own boss. That's the one. And I serve in the Nepali restaurant in Jackson Heights. I continue to serve, but the planet is not going on. But I'm not enormous, and I'm working very hard. And my wife also over there, she working 12 hours and 7 days. Even she have no breaks. Yeah, and we continue. We are not enormous, and luckily now we are in the happy to own a business. Thank you.
So are there any questions from the floor that anyone would like to ask one of the panelists? Hello, in red.
Hello, good
Hi.
morning. My name is Alimata Zasori. I have a question for my brother over here. Yes. What is the challenge that you're facing to expand your business, like open a restaurant, not to be with a truck in the streets? What is you facing? Like, what do you need?
Well, good question. The first is capital. The second is employees, because you need to have people that understands, the food, to work with the food. However, because this day and age everything is going digital, I have been able to develop a recipe-guided meal, whereby even if I hire somebody from China or that speaks English or Chinese or Spanish, they can just follow the recipe, because there's been time that I will go away and we still have to continue the business. So they will just follow the recipe. So I've been able to take care of that. Now, the other part is for you to get the right funding, because if you don't have enough customer base, then it's going to be really tough. For us, we've been able to run the business for the past 7 years with our own money. And now that we need to expand, we need more capital. And that is very, very challenging. So I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions?
So we heard from Godshelter. Yeah, thanks. We heard from Godshelter that you're ready to when you're ready to retire, it's going to be in Arizona or Florida or California, not Nigeria. But I'm sure that all of you at some point or other miss the culture and the home that you came from. And I'm kind of curious. I mean, America offers so many opportunities, but I'm wondering what's the greatest sacrifice that you've made by coming here, and what you miss the most about home?
Well, I would guess the greatest sacrifice is leaving that level of comfort that we grew up with. Like your family, your surroundings, everything that's familiar, and come in and start something new. That fear of the unknown, and taking that leap of faith, was the most difficult thing. But what we do is, in America, what I've realized, especially in New York, is that you come here and then you create your little bit of home here. So they always say home is where the heart is. So while we miss and we long for that comfort and that zone that where we came from, we create it here. We create our own families, we create our own circles and niches, things that support and make us comfortable here.